Hi, today we're going to be talking about something a little bit different. We're going to be talking about comparison. So, with comparison is something that you will use in some of your English classes, um, and it's going to be a good skill for us to review. So, the first thing I want you to do when we talk about comparison is I want you to come to your Google Drive. I'm going to create a new document. And when you get done with this document, you're going to share it with me. So I know what it is, and so that you can find it later, we want to title it pretty well. So the title, I want to have three things. I want to have my name, the class period you were with me in. So if your first period, that's going to be 1A. If it's second period, 2A. Fourth period, 4A. And then we're just going to title the rest of it comparison. So name, class period, comparison. Once you've done that, I want to insert a table. So I'm going to click Insert, Table, and then you're going to have this waffle of different squares that you can choose from. We want to make it 3 by 2. So when it gets done, it looks like this. So again, you're going to go to the table, go 3 across, 2 down, and that will give you a table that looks like this. So when we talk about comparison, what are we talking about? Well, there are two ways that we can compare things. We can talk about how things are similar and how things are different. For instance, with apples and oranges, basic comparison people make every day. We have apples, we have oranges. Well, if we want to talk about how they're similar, we can say that they're both fruit, both sweet, they're both kind of round. They both have skin. And we could probably think about a lot of other things that apples and oranges have in common. They're both healthy. So those are things that they have in common, things that are similar or the same. So type similar up here. But then what does an apple have that an orange doesn't have? What makes an apple different? Well, it's crisp, I think. An apple is crisp while an orange is juicy. They both have skin, but an apple skin, you can just bite the skin and eat it that way. So a lot of people like it that way. With an orange, you have to peel the skin because you don't want to get that tough skin right there. An apple has a long stem. An orange really has like a nub. So these are some ways that apples and oranges are different. So when we're talking about comparison, we're looking at what makes them similar, what makes them different. Now, as I was doing that, I hope you could see that I was using this table for a certain purpose. I created my table, and then in it, the first thing I wanted to compare, I put in the top left. The second thing I wanted to compare went in the top right. The thing that was similar, I put in the middle. Now, I started talking about what was similar. This is something I recommend. You can talk about what makes them different first, but I really recommend talking about what makes them similar. So Um, with our apples and the oranges, we talked about how they're both fruit, they're both sweet, both kind of round, have skin, and they're healthy. Then once we talked about how they were similar, I talked about how they were different. Um, Apples are crispy, oranges are juicy. Apples, you can bite the skin. Oranges, you have to peel the skin. Apples have a long stem. Oranges have a nub. And so that's pretty much how we set it up. Now, I want you to do a comparison. What do I want you to compare? Well, you can choose any number of things. You could think about some movies that you like and compare them. For instance, I like Star Wars, and I also like some of the superhero movies that are out there. So I could set up my table and I could say, well, excuse me, they both have heroes. Um, they both have things that don't exist. They both have bad guys. Um, they both have powers. Have people with powers. And then I can talk about what makes them different. For instance, Star Wars is in another galaxy. If you know the franchise, it's in a long ago in a galaxy far, far away. Superheroes usually happen here on Earth. Um, Star Wars has lots of aliens. Superheroes have mostly people. Um, and I could go on. I could also talk about my family members. I could say, talk about, my dad and my sister. Both related to me. Known them almost all my life. Um, Both care about me. But in my case, my dad is older than me, as I'm sure yours is. My sister is younger than me. My dad taught me. I helped teach my sister. So you see how with just about anything you can do this comparison. So it's really up to you to choose what you would like. You could compare movies that you like. You could compare books. You could compare family members. If you've gone on a couple vacations, you could compare those vacations. You could compare summer to school. You could compare distance learning classes to in-person classes. That could be very interesting. And if you need any help coming up with any ideas, you can absolutely email me. If you have any questions about this, you can email me. But what I want you to do today, I want you to create a document with your name, the class name, and comparison. I want you to create a table that looks like this. And in that table, I want you to compare two things. I want you to put thing 1 in the top left, thing 2 in the top right, similar in the middle, and then right below the similarity, tell me what makes them alike. Below thing 1, tell me what only that has. Below thing 2, tell me what only that has. I want you to give me 5 things. 5 things in each column. And then, when you're finished, the last thing I want you to do is share it. And you see my email right there. Share be at pit.k12.nc.us. When you've shared it with me, then it will be turned into me. If you have any questions, let me know. I hope you all have a great day.